Alright, hey guys, welcome back, and this is going to be another movie review. Sorry I haven't done one for a while, just been super busy with work and family. But anyway, I decided to do a review for the newest adaptation of a Stephen King novel, and that is Salem's Lot. And that is the actual feature film that just came out on HBO Max earlier this month. And yes, it is a remake of uh, the book, and also it's another adaptation. And I reviewed the original from 1979 6 years ago, according to my YouTube channel. So if you want to check out my review of the original, definitely go check it out. There is another one that came out in the early 2000s. I had never seen that one, but it is coming in the mail soon, so I will definitely watch it and I'll do a review as soon as I can on it. So it may be up before Halloween, it may not be, so I apologize if it's not, but just know that it's going to be coming around the corner soon. But anyway, so this film has been anticipated for many years. It's been done since 2021. They just never released it until recently. They wanted to release it in 2022, but because of COVID and all that crap, they decided to push it back. And they were going to release it in 2023, but Evil Dead Rising took its place, so they were like, "Screw it, we're not gonna release it in the theater." So they were like, "Why not just throw it on Max?" So we have it, and it was definitely worth the wait. I really enjoyed this movie, and I'm not going to get too much into the plot. It's basically the same as this movie and the one from the early 2000s. It's basically the same plot, only it's just a different, retelling of it. And uh, I thought that the film was really well made. Warner Brothers New Line Cinema distributed it, and they did a hell of a job. James Wan is the producer for it. We all know him from directing the first Saw and doing a whole bunch of other, horror movies, the Insidious movies, stuff like that. Great filmmaker, and he did a good job at producing this movie. And Stephen King himself was one of the executive producers on this film, and he did a great job too. And Stephen King, I'm a huge Stephen King fan, and I saw the original back when I was a kid, and I loved it. And yes, I am a fan of this miniseries that was released in the late '70s, 1979. And I know that a lot of people have probably seen this one and think it was great, it was terrifying, stuff like that. The vampire is amazing. Kurt Barlow, phenomenal. Um, in this movie, the vampire Kurt Barlow looks very good. Definitely a lot different than the one here. And um, I read the novel years ago back in high school. I can't remember too much about it. I do have it somewhere. I just didn't bring it out with me to show you. But I'm sure that you've probably seen it in my Stephen King book collection, which I'll have to redo at some point. I'll probably delete the videos that I made for my Stephen King book collection because I just have so many more than what I did. So if you guys want to see more of that, let me know. Um, but yeah, and I want to show you guys the poster for the movie itself. See, that's what it looks like. Very, very cool poster. I really like that artwork there. And it was directed by Gary Dauberman, and he did a pretty good job directing it. Also stars Lois Pullman, Mackenzie Lee, Alfred Woodward. No, Woodard, excuse me. Not Woodward, Woodard. She's great. John Benjamin Hickey, Bill Camp, Jordan Preston Carter, Nicholas Corvetti, Spencer Treat Clark, William Sadler, and Pilo Asbeek, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I don't know if you can see it very well, but it's like the last name underneath the casting. So I might have butchered the name, I may not have. I'm not sure. So forgive me if I have. But yeah, uh, I thought the visual effects look really great. The cinematography for Jerusalem's Lot or Salem's Lot is great, and um, It takes place in Maine, as we all know. A lot of his stories, a lot of Stephen King stories, takes place in Maine because that's where he was born and raised. And I'm actually not so far from Maine, so that's pretty cool. For those who don't know, I'm actually in New Hampshire, and I'm actually pretty close to the Maine border. So that's a little interesting piece of fact that you might not know about me if you haven't seen any of my videos before. Um, and yeah, the story I've always found very interesting because I'm a big fan of like the Dracula story. So having this basically inspired by that, just makes it, like a catch for me because I'm a sucker for vampire movies. No pun intended there. But I've always found the story to be very fascinating. I thought the book was great. I can't remember too much about it. I'll have to reread it again someday. And also, before you ask, I'm not going to compare it to the novel because, like I said, it's been years before. It's been years since I've read it. But for those who want to compare it to the novel in the comments, feel free to in the comments below. It's just been a long time since I've read it, so I apologize. But if you want to see me do a different video comparing the book to the movie, feel free to let me know. I'll do that. I'll do that for you. But for now, I'm just focusing on the newest adaptation of Salem's Lot, and I was anticipating this movie for a long, long time. Ever since I first heard about it, I was like, yes, we're finally getting an R-rated feature film of Salem's Lot. It's finally not a miniseries again. And, I was just so excited, and I couldn't wait. Like, the first trailer, blew me away. Like, the first teaser blew me away, and then the trailer came out, and, like, the actual official trailer came out, and that even got me more hyped up and everything. Um, and I think that the movie is definitely what a lot of people are saying, super old school vampire movie. It's not like your stereotypical vampire movie that's like from like the newer generation. It definitely feels like it's an older film because it takes place in older times and stuff like that. And I think that the movie went at a very good pace. It's almost 2 hours, and it goes by pretty fast. And I know it's not as long compared to the original. The original's like 3 hours and 3 minutes, so this one's a lot longer. And the other remake that they did in the early 2000s is like 3 hours long too, I believe. So this is actually like the shortest, adaptation of Salem's Lot that has been made, and I really wish that they would have stuck with having it as a theatrical release. But nonetheless, I still enjoyed seeing it, on the big screen on my TV here in my living room. It was great, and it was definitely very dark, very eerie. The music I felt worked. The guy that plays the author, Ben Mears. I think that's his name, Ben Mears. Yes, Ben Mears. Yeah, Lewis Pullman. I think that he did a very good job. I think he had a charm to him. And Alfred Woodard. I keep wanting to say Woodward for some reason. Alfred Woodard. Uh, she does a great job. I love her as an actress. She did great in this movie, and the guy that played the main vampire, Kurt Barlow, Alexander Ward. There's no picture of him, but I think he did a very good performance as well. Like the look of him was definitely a lot more demonic-like than it was in the original, and it definitely had like a lot more like intensity than it did in the miniseries. Because for a miniseries, you can't show much on TV, gore wise anyway. But this one, they went like out of the park. Like not incredibly like gory as like Saw style, but it was still a pretty bloody movie. And there was also like a lot of scenes like that happened like where they um when someone gets attacked, like someone will get attacked and they cut away, and stuff like that. And I actually like that. I feel like that actually worked. I know some people probably might say, well, it wasn't, as much, gory as I would have liked it to be, and I get that, but honestly, I don't think everything has to be so bloody disgusting as a lot of other people want it to be and stuff like that. And I thought it worked fine, and the kid actings was great too. There were some great kids in there that did a very good job, and there was definitely a lot of creepy, weird scenes, like with the kid that turns into a vampire and he's drinking the blood out of the bag in the hospital. That was very, very gross. I'm not gonna lie, that was very gross. Even though it's fake, it's still very gross. And like where he's telling like the kid to let him into the house and everything, like that was very freaky. And he thought that this one was freaky, like in this miniseries it was freaky. It's definitely freaky in the newest one. Believe that. And I think that this is definitely one of the better remakes of a Stephen King adaptation in a while. And I know a lot of people loved the It remakes and, well, the remake, not remakes, but the newer It movies. And a lot of people didn't like the Pet Cemetery remake, but I actually think those movies are just as good as this one. I think that the one that they did before it is a lot better than this one, but I still think it's a great movie. And I know a lot of people, aren't really that happy with this movie per se, because like it has like a pretty low percentage on IMDb. Yeah, it's 5.7 out of 10. I disagree with that. I think it deserves at least like a 7, in my opinion. But yeah, like a lot of people felt disappointed with it. To each their own. If you disagree with me, that's fine. If you agree with me, that's great. But if you don't like the movie and if you want to let me know why you didn't like it, I'm not gonna judge you. Like, it's your own opinion. I'm not trying to make you like a movie because I like it. You know what I mean? But I had a blast with this movie. Great looking vampires too, and a lot of decent jump scares that actually worked. And I know, like a lot of newer horror films, a lot of people say that a lot of the jump scares were very cheap, and there are some cheap jump scares in newer horror films, but this film I don't think did that at all. And I think that this movie should be released on Blu-ray. I think, hopefully, it will be, but I don't know if it will. But I hope so, because I definitely want to have this in my collection because I definitely had a fun time with it. I thought it was a phenomenal Stephen King movie, and I felt like it was a great adaptation, and it felt like a Stephen King movie. Like the story made sense, and you know, I felt like they did everything that they could do to pull off this movie, and I think they did a pretty good job. And there's also like some differences that I've heard that that the vampire Kurt Barlow, that he actually speaks and everything and stuff like that, and he's actually like a charming guy and whatever. But in this movie and in the original miniseries, like I've said before. Well, I haven't really talked about this before, so scratch that. But he doesn't really show himself very much. Like they kind of really keep it a secret. Like in the book, it's a little bit different. If you read the book, you know what I'm talking about. And this isn't from me like remembering it. This is from people saying it in videos, like also like reviewing the movie. So I know that he's definitely portrayed a lot different in the movies than he is in the book. And I thought the look of him in this movie was great. Like, I thought that he definitely had a look of Nosferatu on him, like he does in the original miniseries. And, he just looked cool. And, I think that, like, the house and everything, like, the house looked really creepy. and the fact that like a lot of people are in denial of what's going on, and they don't really want to know about it, or they just don't care. It has some great fight sequences, and great action, great special effects. I know some people might complain with like CGI and whatever. I don't care. I loved it for what it was. So you can criticize my taste of movies if you want to. I guess I don't care, but just watch it for yourself. If you love the original miniseries, or if you like the other one that came out in the early 2000s, you definitely want to go check it out. It's a very fun time. Go watch it on Max if you have it, or if you have the Hulu, Max, and Disney combo thing that they do on TV now. Definitely go watch it. It's definitely worth your time. If you don't like it, that's fine. Let me know your comments down below, and also let me know what your favorite Salem's Lot, uh, you know, adaptation. Do you like the book? Do you like the movie better? Do you like the miniseries better? Whatever you want, let me know. I love to hear you guys' opinions, and I'm open to them. So, I definitely want to watch this movie again. It definitely had um, a spark to it, and I think it deserves a lot more praise than it does. And even Stephen King, he didn't know why that the film wasn't, released. Because he saw it before it came out, and he loved it. So when I heard he loved it, I had my high hopes for it, and I was very pleased when I watched it. And I think you'll have a good time with it, especially if you like vampire movies, like if you like Dracula, stuff like that. You'll definitely like this one. It's definitely a good story, and I recommend watching the original and the one from the early 2000s too. I didn't see that one yet, but like I said, I'm gonna be having that coming in the mail soon, and I'll be doing a review of it. So be on the look for that. And thank you guys so much for watching. Definitely check out Salem's Lot. Hope you guys enjoyed my review for it, and I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.